Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to Dad Book. I told you I'd say it at least once. Welcome back to Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. We're back at the Dad Book, which is interesting because it does mean that the pattern of like what plays out when has changed again. So we're going to launch straight into Damien's second date. Let's begin. I had a lot of fun hanging out with Damien the other day. I wonder what he's up to. I open up Dad Book and start writing him a message when Amanda walks in the door. Dad, you got a letter. Oh, is it from Grandpa? Or Grandma? No, it's from Damien. Whoa, can I see it? Amanda hands me a piece of old parchment folded into an envelope and sealed with purple wax. Damn, the dude goes all out. I pry off the seal and unfold the letter. In the most beautiful calligraphy, the letter reads... I don't know if this was here before. They put the full, like, friggin' letter on here. Dearest Rorius, I'm not going to read it in Damien's voice because I'm reading it in my own head, you know. I hope you'll find my continued correspondence endearing, rather than trying. One can only hope that my use of the slower, more traditional form of communication will showcase my sincere and earnest sentiment that I greatly enjoyed our time together. I write this hastily under the warm embrace of excitement, fearful that I may misstep, and speak towards something unwelcome. For now, I hope that you might forgive my boldness. I will simply say that your company has greatly occupied my thoughts. While the afternoon may have been derailed by forces unforeseen, your companionship helped a great deal, not only in the discipline of my child, but in the morale of my spirit. And for that, I thank you. That said, Rorius, if you'll allow me, it would mean the world to me if I could enjoy more of your time. Perhaps a trip to the cinema followed by a moonlit stroll would be to your taste. I eagerly await your response. With great respect, D. Bloodmarch. Amanda and I both look up from the letter. Wow. He's good. So, you gonna catch a movie with him? Yeah, I better message him on Dad Book and let him know. And Amanda's like, you stupid idiot. Oh dear. You have to write him back, a real letter. But my handwriting looks like two toddlers fighting over a crayon. Yeah. That's too true, too real. All throughout school I had the worst handwriting, and it's even worse now than it was at late high school because I don't write anything half the time. Dad, you have to. He wrote you a letter. It's so cool. Will you help me? I need to class this up. Father, I was made for this. Here's what you do. Find tickets to a show that you two will like, then enclose them in the letter. Oh, that's classy. Amanda and I hop onto my laptop and peruse showtimes. He doesn't seem like a romantic comedy kind of guy. Even though apparently that's not true. I'm not supposed to know that. Oh, here's one. Vampire Crusade 2. Evil Never Dies. I don't know, that sounds kind of stupid. Actually, it's a critically acclaimed exploration into the ennui of existence. Ennui is how you pronounce that. The ennui of existence. It really turns the vampire trope on its head. Really? Nah. There's just a lot of blood and vampire vampire titties. Well, let's roll the dice. I purchase the tickets and print them out, then sit down at the table with Amanda to try and draft a nice letter. I start writing. Damien. Yeah, this is... half of this date is writing this letter correctly. Like a huge amount of the decisions for this date are just letter writing. I do hope that this letter finds you in good health. Hey. Good morrow to you on this fine eve. I do hope that this letter finds you in good health. Good one. Oh wait, what was the best one for that? No? There's a love option. Good morrow to you on this fine eve. Okay, no, I genuinely do think that other option was the best. But it says something about Amanda's responses are how you're supposed to judge whether or not you've done a good job on this one. I do believe that this is probably the best option. I do hope that this letter finds you in good health. Yeah, cool. Let's save again. Hey, hey, remember when your son tried to cask of Amontillado that kid? You been good? I must confess of my amateur control of the written word. Huh? Jeez, Dad, have some faith in yourself. Okay, Okay, that one was neutral. That was neutral. There was no, like, bad or good. Okay, we're trucking along. Let him know how you're feeling. Okay. You find me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. I like that one. I did very much enjoy the adventure we found ourselves in on last we met. That Ernest shit was pretty messed up. Oh dear. You find me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. Yeah. Nice. Ask him to hang out already. True art takes time, Amanda. While a strange turn of events, I found myself enamored of the situation at hand. Like Bruegel's landscape with the fall of Icarus, I find myself lost in your details. Let me, get at that. Which one do we do? It's not gonna be that one, of course. But which of these two do we do? They both look really good. Like, well, really good written. Very good words. I write good words. While a strange turn of events, I found myself enamored of the situation at hand. Or, it's like the saying that you like the situation. Like Bruegel's landscape with the fall of Icarus, I find myself lost in your details. Dad, whoa. I saw it on TV. I'm not an actually intelligent person. Bring it home, Pops. Okay. That looked like a good answer. I'm not going to change it. Let me take you out. I got 2 tickets to the movies. I would very much enjoy your company, accompanying me to the cinema. I would very much enjoy your company, accompanying me to the cinema. It would bring me great pleasure to escort you to the cinema. Yeah. Smooth. Calling it the cinema is a classy move. Enclosed, you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you will find both titillating and enjoyable. Best wishes, hard daps. Hard daps. Namaste. We'll carry on. Apparently this is neutral all. Doesn't really matter what you choose. Hard daps. You put that at the end of like this eloquently as frick written letter. I do hope this finds you in good spirits. Hard daps. We'll carry on. What is this from? I feel like that's from something. I don't know what it's from. Best wishes. And then I signed my name. My full name. Fancier that way. Rorius Maximus. Is this okay? Amanda reads over my sloppy handwriting, sorry. Oh dear. Damien, I do hope that this letter finds you in good health. I must confess of my amateur control of the written word, as well as my even more amateur penmanship. Your letter found me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. Like Bruegel's landscape with the fall of Icarus, I find myself lost in your details. It would bring me great pleasure to escort you to the cinema. Enclosed, you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you will find both titillating and enjoyable. Best wishes, Rorius Maximus. He spelled his name wrong. Wait, what? I didn't see it. 1 second. His name isn't spelt wrong. He spelled his name wrong. What? Nah, just trying to keep you on your toes. Oh, you little shit. Oh, dear. Because, like, I've had this discussion before about names and how you spell them. Now all you have to do is seal it and put it in his mailbox. Can I seal it with tape? Yeah. That's not authentic enough. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Amanda leaves the room and returns with a candle, a lighter, and a small piece of wood. Yeah. You gotta have a wax seal. She lights the candle, which starts to burn down and form a pool of melted wax. What's that other thing? Amanda pours some of the wax onto the folded letter and expertly presses the small piece of wood onto it. She lets it dry for a second and pulls the wood away, revealing... Here it is, your sigil. A little kitten with a bow on its head. What, like a Hello Kitty? Press. Scrapbooking stuff always comes in clutch. Well, I guess all there is to do is deliver it to his doorstep now. Huh? Oh, I thought we were getting a carrier pigeon to do it. I already called my guy. I have a pigeon guy. Marcus has the good pigeons. Don't get your pigeons from Anthony. They're no good. I don't want to know if any of this is true. I head outside and walk over to Damien's house. I slip the letter into the slot in his door and go back home. Mission accomplished? Now we play the waiting game. The night finally rolls around where I'm supposed to meet with Damien. The next day he had left another beautifully crafted letter thanking me for mine and agreeing to the event. Amanda helps me pick out a nice outfit and I show up to the theatre a little bit early. It's a chilly night and the theatre is kinda crowded, but it's still nice. How do you do? I jump at the sound of his voice. and turn around to see Damien right behind me. Why did it have thunder? Oh, you almost gave me a heart attack. How long were you there for? Jesus Christ. I don't know. I just walked up. My apologies for frightening you. Was that thunder? Is it gonna rain soon?
Huh.
But I remember this now. This is like a thing on this date. I didn't hear anything. What?
What?
What? Regardless, the hour grows close. Shall we take our seats in the cinema? I must thank you again for purchasing our tickets. Please, allow me to repay the deed in Sour Patch Kids, or perhaps Milk Duds? Let's do it. We get in line to buy snacks. As we're waiting, I hear a familiar voice behind us. My dad is here. I turn around to find Lucian standing a few feet behind us with a gaggle of other goth kids. A gaggle of goth kids. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Lucian, how nice to see you. I didn't know you were coming to the theater. I'm glad to see you spending some quality time with your friends. Whatever, Dad. And what movie will you be attending tonight? My friends are making me see some kids movie about talking animals. I don't really care about it. Well, I do hope you enjoy your evening. We'll be watching Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies.
What?
You? Watching that? Yeah, I thought Damien would enjoy it. Ha! Good luck with that, Dad. Lucian rejoins his friends and I look over to Damien. Good luck with what? It's nothing. My son loves to tease. We wait in line for a little longer and Damien buys us snacks. He seems a little nervous. I wonder what's wrong. Yeah, because we took him to a scary movie. And he... Damien and I take our seats and settle in for previews. Glancing at him, I can see that he's sweating profusely and gripping his armrest. Is everything okay? Vampires, huh? The movie hasn't even started yet. Apparently the best outcome is like. Okay, phew. Everything is perfectly fine. I'm so, excited for this film. I'm a devoted patron of the arts, especially the scary arts. The scarier the art, the better. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Oh, no.
Of course I have a favorite horror movie. Mine is, Halloween Town. Terrifying. Oh, interesting.
Huh.
That's odd. I don't seem to remember Halloween Town being that scary. I would have expected him to bring up some sort of strange foreign horror film that I'd never heard of. Damien's knuckles are turning white. He looks like he's about to rip the armrest off. Wait a second. Damien, are you afraid of horror movies?
What?
You must be joking. I love horror movies. Yeah, it's pretty clear. It's like wearing his emotions on his sleeve right there. The lights dim for the film. Damien screams. I apologize. I was thinking about something far scarier than this movie, which is not scary at all. We settle in as the film starts. I offer Damien some licorice and he takes one. I take note of how much his hands are shaking. The title flashes across the screen in bloody letters. Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies. A pale man with long silver hair, glittering red eyes, and well-oiled abs sits up in a coffin. A coffin. Romulus bad blood. Awaken my coven. Two more vampires slide the tops off their stone coffins onto the floor. Demetrius Morvant. Brother, is it time? Yes, husband, but also mortal enemy. It is time. Carmela von Ruden. The three look at each other and then to the camera. For the Vampire Crusade. This rules. Oh, for the Vampire Crusade. I thought it was going to continue. My bad. The trio of vampires flies off into the night as foreboding organ music plays in the distance. I somehow get lost in the movie. As dumb as it sounded, it's actually a pretty good fun flick. We get to a tense moment of the movie where Romulus Trueblood, as opposed to Bad Blood, sits at a truce meeting with the general of the human army, whose wife Romulus... What? Wife Romulus has fallen in love with. Oh, whose wife Romulus is... yeah. Romulus, it is good to finally meet you. General, I agree. It's good to finally... blood you. Romulus leaps out and slashes the general's throat. Blood splatters over everything, including the camera. Damien screams again, reflexively grasping my hand. I immediately blush. Why does it... dear. I don't think I'm someone who frequently blushes. I only tend to blush if I say something really dumb, and then especially on like a stream, I'll say something really dumb or something will happen. I'll be like, oh, I can't like just edit that out. I'm jet. I immediately blush, forgetting about any vampires or blood or vampiric blood.
What?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Damien retracts his hand and places it back in his lap. I was writing a novel in my head about blood magic and I got to an extremely scary section. Damien goes back to quietly stressing out over the movie. It's kind of cute that he won't admit that he's afraid of it. I wish he would hold my hand again. Maybe I could do something to try and make him feel more comfortable. I've got it. I'll do what all dads do best. Talk during the movie. Tell a dad joke. Point out plot hole. Ask what's happening. So the best outcome is a like. Point out plot hole? Will that make him feel better about the movie? Did you notice how that guard fired 7 bullets but his gun only holds 6 bullets? Yes! That is absolutely unforgivable from a filmmaking standpoint. It's almost unwatchable. Okay, wait a second, I don't know if that worked. It's funny how it's so much easier to point out tiny mistakes in the work of others than it is to actually go create your own thing, huh? Hey look, that's an anachronism. Okay, no. Damn it. I got neutral. Tell a dad joke? This is what I was gonna go for to begin with, but then I started convincing myself of the plot hole one. Yay! Where does a dog go when it loses its tail?
What?
Where? To the retail store. To the retail store. I yelled that last bit a little too loud for a crowded movie theater, but I can see a smile form on Damien's face.
Oh.
Yay. Good one, Rorius. The rest of the movie goes by relatively smoothly, with only a few whimpers from Damien. Maybe he would have liked the romantic comedy better. We get to the final scene of the movie, where Romulus Badblood and the General's wife embrace each other in his crypt. It appears that the true vampire crusade was the vampire crusade in our hearts. Our cold, unbeating hearts. Romulus and the General's wife begin making out hard.
What?
The film fades to black and the end appears on the screen. But then it hard cuts to Demetrius and his rival lover Carmela, who watch the two from afar. Oh no, twist ending. Our bloodline has been pure for 1,000 years. Romulus has betrayed us by loving a human woman. It will only be a short time before the next Vampire Crusade 3. Evil must die again. More thunder, more ominous organs, the movie fades out again, and a bloody question mark now accompanies the end. Damien and I walk out of the movie theater amidst throngs of chattering moviegoers. He's a little more pale than I remember, but otherwise he survived the encounter. He even seems kind of invigorated. What an interesting film. While the premise admittedly struck me as pedestrian, I was intrigued by its harrowing love story and great attention to detail in regards to vampiric lore. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot more vampire titties than I thought there would be. Come, the night is young. Let's take a stroll. Damien is making a point of not telling me where he's taking me. Right. Still, I'm enjoying the walk and the cool night air. Being alone here with Damien is a lot better than being in a crowded theater. Lovely night, isn't it? As lovely as the company, yes. Aw. He thinks I'm lovely. Damn, okay, here comes the smooth response. Okay. Thanks, cool. Thanks. Yay! No problem. Crushed it. We both stand there feeling a little awkward. I sure am one smooth operator. Are you getting a little hungry? We could maybe stop off and grab something to eat? Worry not, friend. I have a plan. We turn the corner and are greeted by the gates of a cemetery? What? Are we going in there? A little bit of Victorian flavor, Rorius. Trust me. Okay. I'm a bit nervous, but Damien hasn't led me wrong yet. This music is way louder than any of the rest of the music in the game. I follow his lead as we walk into the cemetery. Statues of angels stare down at us as we follow a path through the faded tombstones. As we crest a small hill, we get a beautiful view of the city. The nightlights sparkle around us. I gotta hand it to him. For being a cemetery, this is strangely romantic. Picnicking in graveyards is an old Victorian tradition. An appropriate finish to an evening after a vampire movie, wouldn't you say? With a flourish, Damien produces a blanket and picnic basket. Wait, where were you hiding that? Under my cloak? Oh, right. Damien unfolds the blanket and we both sit down, gazing out at the city lights. He produces a bottle of red wine and a fine selection of cheeses. In the Victorian era, there were no public art galleries, parks, or botanical gardens to speak of. Once rural graveyards became a more popular alternative to church burials, they became the only place that people could see beautiful plant life and fine sculptures. That makes sense. That is pretty nice. I have a question though. How are you so okay with being in a graveyard, but you had trouble handling a scary movie?
Oh my.
I wasn't. He sighs deeply. Okay, yes, I was extremely scared by that movie. I was not writing a book about blood magic in my head. I like magic being spelled with a K at the end there. I just have never been good at those. I just feel as if because of how I look and act, people expect me to love horror films. So I must play the part. Truth be told, I don't know if I have the constitution for them at times. Damien, I'm so sorry. If I'd known, I would have suggested another film. Another movie. It's quite alright. I actually did find myself enjoying this one, thanks to your help. Graveyards, however, I think there's something rather beautiful about death. Cemeteries are traditionally built away from cities, away from the realm of the living, and it keeps us rather separated from it. To acknowledge death and become comfortable with it, I think, gives us a certain intimate knowledge of ourselves. To sit amongst generations of those who came before us, to be truly alive in the midst of so much death, brings me great comfort. Death helps me appreciate life, to savor every second. We sit and enjoy our food and wine. I don't feel scared anymore. Never thought I'd be comfortable sitting alone in a graveyard at night, but I actually feel very peaceful. Suddenly it doesn't seem like we're alone. Off in the distance I see a shadowy figure in the trees. What is that? I'm not sure. It noticed us. I'm paralyzed with fear as it begins lumbering slowly towards us, its shape taking a more animalistic form, more feral. I look to Damien for help, but he's just as afraid and transfixed as I am. I want to scream, but it's stuck in my throat. The creature is getting closer, moving faster. Oh. It's a dog. As it finally comes into the light, the friendliest, dumbest little Boston Terrier I've ever seen pulls its owner towards us. The dog trots over to Damien and sniffs at his hands. Damien looks ecstatic. He ruffles the dog's fur happily. What a beautiful dog! Pretty sure it's, hey. We both look up, not expecting to see. Thanks. Robert, what are you doing out here on this lovely evening? Hunting cryptids. What? What? I didn't know you had a dog. I actually did, because I technically saw or heard his dog barking in his house the other day, because of the side story thing. This isn't my dog. I found her wandering in the street. I put a leash on her, and now we're walking around the graveyard together. Hunting cryptids. Damien and I share a look. May I give her a treat? Sure. Wouldn't give her a cheese, though. Not to worry. Damien reaches into the depths of his cloak and procures a small dog treat. What else is he keeping in there? The dog laps up the treat and crunches away, tail wagging furiously. Damien continues to smooth down the fur. Thanks. My absolute pleasure. Damien shakes the dog's paw. Lovely to meet you, my friend. May our paths cross again. Robert and his dog disappear into the darkness again. Damien stares after them. I didn't know you liked dogs. Victorians loved dogs. But, I mean, that doesn't matter. Victorians loved dogs, actually. Most Victorian women of high fashion would always be accompanied by a small dog, such as a terrier or Maltese. I think big dogs are nice too. Yeah, man, dogs are cool. I do believe we've had enough excitement for one night. What say we make our way home? Damien hops to his feet and extends a hand to help me up. I gladly take it, as my knees are not what they used to be. He packs up his picnic basket and leads us out of the graveyard. As we begin the walk home, I take one last look at the cemetery. It really is beautiful. Like a proper gentleman, Damien walks me to my doorstep. Thank you, ever so kindly, for your company tonight. Damien, it was my pleasure. Rorius, if you would allow me, it would bring me great joy to offer you a token of my affection. Damien reaches into his cloak and pulls out a folded, monogrammed handkerchief. He presses it into my hand. Wow, thank you, Damien. I'll use this to dry my tears for those I've lost. Oh my god. I can't wait to sneeze on this. I'm gonna wave this at passing ships. I'm gonna wave this at passing ships. Can't wait to sneeze on this. I will use this to dry my tears for those I've lost. Yes. A noble purpose. Damien shuffles his feet. I just want to say that it's rare to find someone like you. Someone who is open to my eccentricities. It's nice to feel so accepted. Thank you. Damien gives my hand a quick squeeze. Damien blushes and hastily retracts his hand. I must take my leave. Good night. Before I can say anything else, he's gone. Huh? I unlock the door and step inside. Like a whirlwind, Amanda runs from the window and plops down on the couch, trying to look nonchalant. She was like staring out the window watching us. Hey, Dad, what's up? Were you watching me from the window? No, I was just, Okay, yes. How was the movie? Lots of vampire titties. Yeah. Told you. But as it turns out, Damien is scared. Wait, Amanda doesn't need to know that. I'll keep it between me and Damien. Scary cool. Yep, he's so cool it's scary. Nice save, Rorius. Did you know that graveyards used to be a place to throw parties? I think I'm misremembering that. Wow, that's pretty punk. Also, we saw a dog. Definitely thought it was a werewolf for a minute, though. How can you be so sure it wasn't a werewolf? How can you be so sure I'm not a werewolf? And how can I be so sure you're not a werewolf? Amanda's eyes narrow. I don't trust you. Nor I you. We make intense, wary eye contact for a second. Anyway, I'm calling it for the night. Don't stay up too late, will you? I'll try not to howl at the moon past midnight. Oh dear. Potty humor, embarrassed child, darkness, bat, vampire blood. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the works of Corey Feldman? He simply slayed in The Lost Boys.
That's the same voice line that they used for the previous one. Well.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Alrighty, so that one also didn't have a little narrative piece before or after it. Because the dates are sort of reaching the between 30 and 40 minute mark at this point, I was gonna try and do a second date in the same episode, but I just don't think I have time. Unless I did like an hour-long episode. But I don't want to do that, honestly. I don't want to do that. We'll leave this here. If you like what you saw, like, if you want to see more from me, then subscribe. I'll probably do Hugo's date next. Because that's just the order that I did last time. If you'd rather that I did Robert or Joseph's date next, second date next, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and as always,